So we already know that the Democrat Party loves nothing more than to support criminals, sometimes violent criminals, as well as illegal immigrants. Why is that? Well, because these people rely so much on the government for their aid and support. Who wants a bigger government at all times? The Democrat Party. And so they are creating a voter base that's going to be relying upon them, thus consistently voting for them. We see this all the time. This is nothing new. Right now, one of the hottest topics that we have is, of course, the illegal immigration and the deportations. Now, the left is saying it's so awful that we're stopping people at the border and we're separating children from parents, which of course they're not always parents. They are sometimes child traffickers that are coming into the country. Not only that, but once they come in, sometimes there is continued child trafficking, human trafficking, child labor laws being broken, so on and so forth. But it's okay to them because, again, they support that stuff so they can keep down cost, while at the same time arguing for $15 or more minimum wage and increasing everyone's wages across the board. They don't know what they want. If it wasn't for inconsistency, they would have absolutely nothing to stand for. And that's the Democrat Party in a nutshell. I can't think of anyone who's worse at this and trying to make some kind of moderate slide before it gets closer to 2028 than Gavin Newsom, or as Donald Trump calls him, Gavin New Scum. Let's take a look at this real quick. I saw this just the other day. It says kids running from tear gas, crying on their phone because their mother was just taken from the fields. Trump calls me new scum, but he's the real scum. And this is from one of the fields. I'll play this, I think. Let's see. Yeah, let's run through this. So this is ICE raiding some of the fields out there in California. There are protesters out there. Of course, we saw videos where protesters were actually trying to attack ICE agents and shoot ICE agents while they were working. And they have a problem with this because it's wrong to separate people and their families, right? It's sad. They're going to put the sad stuff on the TV and they're going to put it in front of you, right? But here's the reality of it. Looking over here at the Daily Mail, an appalling secret of illegal migrant cannabis farmer who Democrats called a strawberry farmer, okay, during dystopian ICE raid. Like, what do they call that one guy? Maryland man? And he was human trafficking. He was human trafficking, right? And I think he had sexual offenses against him too. Just recently, the one that, you know, the Democrat congressman went down there and had margaritas with or whatever, allegedly. But yeah, so here's our strawberry farmer. Let's take a look at his story here. It says more than 300 illegal aliens were detained in a dystopian ICE raid at a California cannabis farm, and one of them has been identified as a child predator. Commissioner of the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Rodney Scott, confirmed one of the illegal farmers was previously sentenced for child sex crimes and worked at the same farm as juveniles. What are juveniles doing working at a marijuana farm? That's probably a different conversation, but again, goes into the child labor, decreased wages that are paid there under the table. So again, it keeps costs low for the consumer. So it makes you look better if you're the governor of that state. I guess our costs are down. Well, if you continue to hire illegals, it's going to be. It says this illegal alien was apprehended at the California marijuana facility, he said of the unnamed man. Turns out he had been sentenced to 7 years for kidnapping and attempted rape with a prior conviction for attempted child molestation. So, you know, they're sending their best, right? Or maybe not. Like Trump said back in 2016 when he first came down that escalator. They're not sending their best, okay? And this felon was working at the same farm as 10 kids, one being under 14 years old. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers carried out multiple raids Thursday across Ventura County, just north of Los Angeles, on cannabis farms, leading to a violent response from locals and farm workers at Glass House Farms. The raids sparked backlash from Democrats, including Governor Gavin Newsom, of course, and Democrat Congressman Jimmy Gomez, who suggested workers were picking strawberries in the fields. Right. Kids running from tear gas, crying on the phone because their mother was just taken from the fields. Newsom posted on X alongside a clip of the smoky aftermath of the fracas. I guess that's one of them there. What does that say? An unidentified farmer who was arrested during the dramatic ICE raid in Ventura County, California at Glass House Farms was previously sentenced for child sex crimes and worked at the same farm as juveniles. Yeah, why not? Let's put him on blast. There he is right there. The unnamed man. So look, you know, again, I don't. I mean, I do know. Another conversation for another day, I'm sure. But I'll say, for sake of this video, I don't know why the Democrats are so adamant about protecting child molesters and rapists and child traffickers and human traffickers and these people that are just so against and so apart from everything that America should be standing for, everything our morals should be standing for. Again, I would say that I do know, and that is probably because there is a demonic force behind it. There is a demonic nature in a lot of the things that are going on right now on both sides of the aisle for sure. But one party seems to be ahead of it with really pushing for abortions on demand is one of their biggest ones that just is a clear sign that these people are just ruthless and demonic. And they support this. They want child molesters and rapists here. And if you are Donald Trump or any of the Republicans or conservatives, or even if you're not, if you're just someone who supported Trump this last time, or even any time before that, and you support the deportation of these people, you are evil. You are racist. You are what's wrong with America. And like James Gunn was saying, and some of the people like his brother, I think, with Superman, if you don't love immigrants, you're not really American. Again, the left and the mainstream media love to mix up illegal immigrants and immigrants. They conflate those two all the time, just like with white nationalists and Christian nationalists, so on and so forth. There's a ploy to divide and conquer, to manipulate the minds of those that watch and those that listen. And folks, I'm going to tell you something. Democrats think they're winning, and they have been for a long time, but the tides are turning. I'm very excited about that. Let me know your comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow all that fun stuff. And let me know what you think about these raids. Should we keep having the raids? Do you oppose these raids? Or is it great to see that even though not every single one is perfect, but we are actually finding some of the scum that are out there doing things like this that are messing around with little kids, and we're getting them out of here? Let me know down below. We'll see you guys next time.